Good morning. This is John Harder, aka Wealth Wiz. Broadcast number 204. I'm coming to you from beautiful Nayarit, Mexico. It is December 13th, 2018. How do you bring value to people? How to bring value to people? You know, we are so entrenched into this lack and limitation concept that has been implemented over the years, and we've bought into it. We've bought into that idea because that's what was presented to us. But where the kickbacks come in abundance is by that of adding value to other people's lives. And now I know that some countries, beggars are very common. And when you look at it, they could, there would be ways that they could add value, and it's almost just not possible that anyone would need to do that, to sit and add burden to everybody that walks by. But they could be adding value, and the kickbacks would be a much higher payoff than what they're doing now. Now, how do you add value? Well, maybe you're, since this is a broadcast for the Kringle.cash system, ta-da! Kringles. Yes, that is very true. But my point still is is that that if you want to add value to people's lives, then they need to see, you need to be able to convey to them the picture, the value that truly TBC has. Most of the value that is in TBC, excuse me, most of the value that is in TBC isn't even actually the medium of exchange, as it were. Most of the value is the freedom, the information, the community that you become part of. Now, of course, the the medium of exchange is a tremendous added value. That is true. But even just to gain the knowledge of what's going on, how this world operates, and the community that you become part of as you take part in that community and be a community of mutual benefit. What a concept, a community of mutual benefit that you become part of. And as this community grows to its full billion members, the wealth that we will have at our disposal is absolutely phenomenal. This world is undergoing some pretty major changes right now. You can feel it in the air. It's in the, it's some sort of a kind of like a climate change. These are things have happened before, maybe very, very long time ago. And, many people, they just wanted to be like it was. We just wanted the way it was, it was easier to pay the bills, and it was, we didn't have this, this feeling that's up in the air, that's it's felt everywhere, this insecurity. We just wanted to be normal. Well, the fact is we can't go back. Time doesn't revert. Time doesn't revert. So wanting to go back is really not when you want to go back to a place you've been before, yeah, that's, that can certainly have its benefits, and depending, of course, on what the reasons are and all of that stuff, right? And but what I'm talking about is trying to go back in time. All of the things that have been uncovered, going back would be like saying, okay, okay, we just digress in time and leave everything that's been uncovered now of what's been going on, cover that all back up. Is that the idea about going back? Because where we are at as humanity is this thing must be faced. This thing must be faced. And I'm sure that infinite intelligence, or God, I didn't say artificial intelligence, I said infinite intelligence. I meant the life principle, the very source of life, so also called God, has all the answers. All the answers are already, they're already available. And these answers, we are all plugged into those answers, which is why we're all feeling the pressure. Now, the question is, how are we going to deal with these questions within us? You see, it is easy for us to start blaming and to get angry about all of the things that have happened, about how these people have, or are they people actually? But these, you know, how they've been in living in secrets and pulling all the strings to have everything happen the way, you know, to create the governments that they have, to all of that, all the governments in the world, it is all created on this fake concept of this pyramid structure. That is a fake concept of power that people need to rule over other people. All of that. What are we going to do about all that in the future? You see, we all have the life principle within us. That's what's keeping our heart beating. We all have this within us. And so we all are filled with the power of God. So none of us need anybody else ruling over us. The concept of that, people are entrenched in that, thinking that that is necessary because that's the only way that they're used to. It's the only thing that they've ever had. But if you haven't noticed yet, then I would say take note today that all of the corruption in the world resides in that pyramid. And it's all circles around the greed concept. The statement that the love of money is the root of all evil was a very, very profound statement. Because that love of money is what has brought this world to where it is. Now, are we as human beings, are we going to wake up and see what we're facing and not fighting it? If you fight it, you are distorting your energy. If you hate it, you distort your energy. This is bad for you. It's bad for your health. It's bad for your spiritual life. Matter of fact, it shortens your life if you do. So what are we to do? You see, what you can do is start generating the right energy. Start accepting everything as it is. Don't need to fight it. Don't need to fight it. You see, you can leave that to infinite intelligence. You can leave that to the life principle. It knows exactly what to do. It knows exactly what to do. Your life, your purpose here in this world is to add value to humanity. The entire structure that we've experienced, I'm talking about the human-built government, banking, industry, industrial, all of that is all built on the principle of pyramid structure where man rules over man. This is a fake idea. This is humanistic idea. As long as we are geared with that idea, peace and prosperity is only going to happen to a few, the ones that are in control. Once we take a stand, you don't have to go and fight. I don't mean by taking a stand, I don't mean to go and act stupid in the marketplace or in the streets. That's not what I mean. But you take a stand within your own self, between you and your own heart, the life principle, that which has created you. And you tune in. You tune in to nature itself and allow yourself to feel the full nature, the full fulfillment of life. This is phenomenal. This is so powerful, and it brings so much joy into a person's life. And what it does, it gives you this deep inner desire to add value to other people's lives. That's the only thing you need to do in order to have all the wealth you want, is to add value to other people's lives. The kickback from that is bigger than, than any money that you can make, by working hard or anything else like that. Just simply find a way to add value to other people's lives. Now, maybe you can add value to other people's lives by introducing them to the Kringle.cash system. Maybe you can add value to people's lives by helping them see what the community offers. It's when you have when there's something wrong, something not functioning, something is wrong. We can take so many examples that nature gives us. For instance, when a person is operating an equipment and suddenly it doesn't function right, well, you've gotta, first of all, you've got to notice that it's not functioning right, or if you operate it for a long time without it functioning properly, I mean, somewhere down the road, you're going to notice that this thing hasn't been functioning for quite some time, probably. Let me give you an example. When I used to do a lot of baling, and sometimes, one of the knotters wouldn't work. Excuse me, and it wouldn't, and so one of the strings wouldn't tie. Well, that's not something you're necessarily going to notice right away. So there may be a couple of bales go by before. Sometimes now that it has a sensoring system, it had, and even that, it doesn't necessarily pick it up right away. But then all of a sudden you notice, after one round, you notice that the bales beside you that you baled last, in the last round, they're not baled properly. You notice that an otter hadn't tied. Well, now you're noticing that something is wrong. If you don't get to the point where you notice something wrong, you're not going to look for any solution. You're not going to look for a solution. you gotta notice that something isn't right. And where we are now in this world, we can feel, we can feel it in the air that something isn't right. Because there is a warpage in the very universe. You know, how do I say it? Everything, the entire universe is set up extremely precise. You know how, equipment these days has very much censoring systems on it and so on to notice everything right away when something goes wrong in a vehicle or whatever. But those systems aren't necessarily always, sometimes there's also something wrong with the sensor. So when that happens, then obviously it's not functioning right, and it's not going to pick up whatever it is supposed to censor. So you have those kind of inconsistencies in man-made things, but the universe doesn't work that way. The universe doesn't work that way. It is complete. It is complete. And your heart is your sensor. Your heart is your sensor. It can sense when there is misfunction in the universe. It can sense when there is halfway around the world, when there is something wrong, when there is killing, when there is war, when it senses it. Because it takes away from life. The life principle is complete. It's complete. It gives us everything. We are not meant to be managed by people. We're not meant to be managed by people. That is not correct. That is not correct. Now, let me just say this. Make a purpose today to add value to people, to add value to people's lives daily. Make a purpose of doing that. Whether you do it in giving them a nice smile, whether you do it in helping them carry something, whether you do it in sharing the Kringle.cash system, whether you do it in helping them see the community, the mission that we have in TBC, but make it a purpose to add value to every person that you meet, every person that you come across. If you're walking down the street and there's a person on the other side of the street walking, in your heart, send them a blessing. You're adding value to their life. You're adding value to their life. And this value that you purpose to add is going to bring so much kickback to you that it's going to make it so much easier for you to function in life and to share the Kringle.cash system or whatever it is that your passion is. Because when it comes from the heart, the life principle is activated. Okay? So, all right. So anyway, if you are not in Kringle.cash yet, do check out the links below. It just may be exactly what you've been looking for. It just might be exactly that which, which is that need that you've been feeling within you. It may be that when you find out what our community is about, maybe it's just going to be exactly a match for what you want. And it's possible. If you've been wanting to add value to people's lives, sharing the Kringle.cash system just might be the right thing. It just may be that that is what you've been needing in order to add value to other people's lives. All right, so check out the links below, and if it is for you, I want to welcome you already, and I'll be happy to help you get started and get moving. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for watching. You have a wonderful, wonderful day. Peace.